Joe Goldberg's journey in You has always been a disturbing ride filled with obsession, murder, and self-delusion. But Season 4 takes the chaos to a whole new level. Just when we thought Joe's European getaway might actually provide a new start, his old ways came crashing back. He attempts to outrun the bloodshed of his past and live a peaceful, crime-free life in London with a fresh identity, hoping that his violent tendencies are behind him. However, the inevitable happens. His old self resurfaces that leaves fans questioning. Can Joe Goldberg ever escape his dark past? In this recap, First Curiosity is diving deep into all the twists, turns, and mind-blowing reveals of Season 4, leading to the explosive ending. Let's break it all down. Joe Goldberg's new life in London, the calm before the storm. Season 4 kicks off with Joe, eager for a fresh start. Now, Jonathan Moore, a university professor in London. Joe is desperate to leave behind his violent past. I can't say I have the most impressive track record in the history of romantics, he admits, trying and failing to justify his toxic behavior. His classic charm is still there, but so is his self-delusion. However, Joe's attempt to start over doesn't last long. He gets tangled in a sinister web of wealthy British socialites and a series of murders, pulling him back into his obsessive, manipulative ways. Was he really trying to change? Or was it just another lie he told himself? As the bodies pile up, Joe's carefully constructed facade begins to crack and his mental state spirals out of control, plunging him deeper into the darkness that defined his past life. The rise of the Eat the Rich killer. Just when we think Joe might be able to keep his cool, a new player enters the scene, a mysterious killer dubbed the Eat the Rich killer, who starts targeting people in Joe's new social circle. Determined to regain control, Joe becomes obsessed with solving the case, convinced that he can outsmart the killer and steer his life back on track. As secrets from the past surface for the elites, it quickly becomes clear that no one is innocent. Everyone has their dirty secrets to kill over, but Stalker Joe is no bystander in this deadly game either. After a round of pin the blame on the rich and powerful, Joe's own dark nature begins to reassert itself. Along the way, he forms a complex connection with Kate, an aristocratic woman who is rich, intelligent, and burdened by the toxic legacy of her father, Tom Lockwood. Let's just jump ahead and say she projected her own guilt onto her father. But Joe takes care of that problem with his typical act of love. Yes, murder. But hadn't he promised himself to be better? Soon enough, we learn what seemed like a chance at redemption. For Joe turns into another dangerous spiral. The split personality reveal. Joe's dark alter ego. Here's where things really get unsettling. Joe's relationship with Rhys Montrose, a London mayoral candidate and writer, takes a chilling turn when it's revealed that Rhys isn't who he seems to be. Surprise! Rhys is a figment of Joe's imagination, a persona Joe created to act out his darkest urges. It's an intense psychological battle, with Joe confronting the monster inside himself. As the hallucinations intensify, Joe's grasp on reality weakens. This dark side, embodied by Rhys, represents everything Joe wants to control. When Joe finally kills the real Rhys in a moment of clarity, the fake Rhys reappears, a constant reminder that Joe is trapped in his own mind. This split personality reveal is a game changer, not just for Joe, but for the audience, exposing how deep his mental and moral decline really is. Marianne's escape, a rare victory. Meanwhile, Marianne, Joe's obsession from Season 3, fights to break free from his grip. After being kidnapped and locked in Joe's infamous cage, Marianne seems doomed. But a glimmer of hope appears when Joe's sharp student Nadia uncovers his true actions and helps Marianne fake her death with an overdose using the pills Joe gave her. In a dramatic turn, Marianne is brought back to life after Joe leaves her lifeless form in a park to give her daughter closure. He leaves the scene, overwhelmed by grief and guilt. Nadia then revives Marianne, and she escapes to Paris, reuniting with her daughter, Juliette. In a world where most of Joe's victims are left in the dirt or burned to ashes, Marianne's survival stands as one incredible win. But can she ever truly escape his reach? By the end of the season, she is still haunted by Joe's moves. Joe's descent into madness. The season reaches its peak when consumed by guilt over what he believes is Marianne's death. Joe contemplates ending his life by jumping off a bridge. As he prepares to jump, he has a chilling conversation with Rhys, yes, his dark side, who reminds him of how much Joe despises him, yet still needs him. Just as Joe leaps, we hear the haunting line. They say everyone who jumps instantly regrets it. But hold on, Joe doesn't die. Instead, he wakes up in a hospital with Kate by his side, revealing shocking news. Her father is dead, and now she controls his entire empire. Even more disturbing? Kate has wiped clean all evidence of Joe's crimes, framing his murder of his wife, Love, as self-defense. Together, they craft a twisted new reality, with Joe fully embracing his dark nature. As he tells a reporter, "I'd love to elope with Kate," it's clear that Joe's reign of terror isn't over. It's just beginning. Nadia's desperate attempt to expose Joe. While Joe and Kate revel in their newfound power, Nadia is relentless in her pursuit of justice. After gathering damning evidence of Joe's crimes, she attempts to expose him, only to become the next victim of Joe's manipulations. He kills Nadia's boyfriend, Eddie, and frames Nadia for the murder, leaving her trapped in prison with no way to clear her name. Nadia's tragic fate shows just how far Joe will go to protect his secrets. Joe and Kate's twisted love story, a dangerous future ahead. The season ends with Joe and Kate more powerful and dangerous than ever. With Kate's inheritance and Joe's deadly skills, they set their sights on building a future together in New York. They plan to change the world. Joe purchases a bookstore and is ready to embrace his true identity once again. Gone is the man on the run. Now, Joe Goldberg is a force to be reckoned with. As they plot their next move, we're left to wonder, has Joe finally accepted his evil side? How long will Kate accompany him in this destructive journey? Or will she fall prey to his impulses? We know Joe's transformation is nothing more than a self-deluded lie, and he's still on his murderous path. Whether Joe will ever face the consequences of his actions remains to be seen, but one thing's for sure, his story is far from over. What do you guys think? Joe Goldberg's story will wrap up in Season 5. How should his story conclude? Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to First Curiosity for more movies and series content.